ओमज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion on Srila Prabhupada's purports. We are discussing the third verse of the first canto, first chapter. And there is one a very important analogy that is given in this. So we have discussed how first shloka is telling about the Vastu Nirdesh, and second is glorifying the Bhagavatam book itself, three ways. One is how it is rejecting all Vaitava Dharma. Second is how it is helping us free from Tapatrayon Molanam, all sorts of miseries. And the third thing what Bhagavatam gives is Sadhya Hridya Vardhate. Lord is immediately captured in the heart by hearing Bhagavatam. So there is the three glorifications of Bhagavatam in the second verse. And here in the third verse, it is compared with Nigama Kalpataror Galitam. Even the desired tree's ripened fruit is Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedas are compared to desired trees. And Sukhamukad Amruta Dravya Samitam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasma. Now we'll see how it is, what is this ripened fruit. So we'll just understand this analogy, because four analogies are given to make us understand Bhagavatam. First analogy is Yasvanubhavakilam Sritisaramekam Adhyatma Deepam Atitishtam Tamondam. So it is compared to a lamp. And then we have another shloka which says Krishna Sudhamukha. This is from the second chapter, and now this Krishna Sudhamukha Dharma Jnanadivi Saha Phalo Nashta Drishamesham Puran Arko, sun Adunodataha. So this is from the third chapter. Also here in the first chapter, third shloka, it is compared to Nigama Kalpator Galitam Phalam, the ripened fruit. So we'll see how these three analogies, how they are fitting. So the first analogy, of course, I will not, when we come to that shloka, we'll discuss in detail, but I'll just give a brief understanding of what other analogies are trying to explain. So first kind of analogy is trying to make us understand the reality, certain reality of the complete. We are able to understand only certain part of realities. And second theme, lamp is making us understand certain part of reality. But whereas the sun, it gives a greater understanding of reality. So like what we were discussing previously, that we have the reality is understood at different levels. Also, ultimately, we have to come to the main topic of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has 10 topics. Atra Sarga Visargasya, Sthanam Poshanamutaya, Manvantara Ishanukata, Nirodha Mukti Rashraya. So we have the 10th topic is Ashraya. Now, ultimately, we all have to understand what is the Ashraya, and we have to take that Ashraya, is Krishna. But to come to that, we have to go through from complete ignorance, we have to get enlightened. And that enlightenment is done by these different topics that are given by Bhagavatam. So, Dashamasya Vishuddhanam Navanam Lakshana. So, all these 9 topics are to show the 10th topic, the Bhagavatam. So, how this Deepa is actually helping us to eradicate ignorance. Now, this first can of the Sarga, first, second, and third cantos, and Nirodha. This, of course, in third canto we have many explanations for Sarga. Sarga means creation, and Nirodha means annihilation. So creation and annihilation are compared to lamp. We will, when that shloka comes, I will try to describe more, but I'll just tell briefly that these are like giving a general understanding. And then sun, like when room is dark, we keep a light, we get some understanding. Okay, this is this. But when sun comes in the daytime, everything is clear around. So that is compared to other topics: Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, Utaya, Manvantara, Ishanukata. And then the most important is the last one, that is Ashraya. So that is compared to the Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam, the ripened fruit. So now this analogy of ripened fruit is very important, that we are understanding Srimad Bhagavatam. This is for all the Vedic literature. Vedic literatures offer a variety of methods to achieve our desires, and that ripened fruit of this desire tree itself presents you in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now that means this is the emotional ecstasy that comes from reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Person gets that emotional ecstasy when he is going through canto by canto. Ultimately, when he reaches 10th canto, he will feel great ecstasy. That is the relish, that is the taste he experiences. And after understanding the meaning at a very deep level, this means that when we read Bhagavatam, we read in a certain way. But when we read more and more deeper levels, now we are seeing the first shloka only, we are seeing at different levels, 5 levels of meaning we can see in one shloka only. General Vastunidesh is Lord, and Vastunidesh Krishna also, Vastunidesh Radha Krishna also. So you will get different explanations for the same festival. So different levels. So when Sukadeva Goswami is speaking, he reads Srimad Bhagavatam, he is in a different deeper level. And when Parikshit Maharaj is doing, he also understanding at a different deeper level. So when real devotee has this key for a certain level of understanding Srimad Bhagavatam and reads Srimad Bhagavatam, even the most superficially dry verses become absolutely ecstatic. Some verses will say, oh, so much description of creation, this, that, but he's able to see Radha Krishna in that also. The highest rasa, Ashray also. So Ashray is the 10th topic, and Ashray, the description of Krishna, is meant to give us an emotional connection with the supreme absolute truth. So that's why we need to be consistent. So this here, Shloka is saying, Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka. Bhavuka are at the level of Bhava, and Rasikas are at the level of Prema. So that's how this verse is. And this emotional content of Srimad Bhagavatam is quite accessible. But first, we have to reach to the level of Bhava and Prema to enjoy the ripened fruit of the Vedas. But for us, it is more easy to understand at the level of sun and light. Other topics of Bhagavatam, other cantos are little easy to understand, especially the other pastimes when Lord is reciprocating. And now, then also there is one more analogy as Mohini Murti. When Mohini Murti is why? Because Srimad Bhagavatam, we can read and understand, but it will be deceiving also. Mohini Murti deceived. Who has a wrong intention, they saw Mohini Murti, they got deceived. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, if we are not having real understanding, the essence of Bhagavatam, then we will immediately get deceived. Bhagavatam has been intentionally compiled in such a way, it is said, that deceive as a wrong approach. That's why many Bhagavad Kathakars are there. They don't have access for Bhagavatam. It's all deceiving only. Inappropriate understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. And they get any conclusions here, there, they'll speak and give all sorts of conclusions. You have to go through acharyas, get the real essence, so that not to get deceived. Otherwise, it's like Mohini Murti, not able to understand anything. And that's why to understand first canto very thoroughly is the fundamental, because first canto gives the Adhikara Tattva. It tells that what is the qualification to understand Bhagavatam. And when we read properly, systematically, then we will not be falling prey to these things. So this is the understanding why it is Nigama Kalpataror. So we'll go for the remaining 2 paragraphs from this purport. The subject matter is so presented to the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami that any sincere listener that hears submissively at once relish transcendental taste which are distinct from the perverted tastes of the material world. Ripened fruit is not dropped all of a sudden from the highest planet of Krishna Loka. Rather, it has come down carefully through the chain of disciplic succession without change or disturbance. Foolish people who are not in the transcendental disciplic section commit great blunder by trying to understand the highest transcendental rasa known as the rasa dance without following the footsteps of Sukadeva Goswami, who presents this fruit very carefully as stages of transcendental realization. One should be intelligent enough to know the position of Srimad Bhagavatam by considering personalities like Sukadeva Goswami, who deals with the subject so carefully. This process of disciplic succession of the Bhagavat school suggests that in the future also, for all time, Srimad Bhagavatam has to be understood from a person who is factually a representative of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. A professional man who makes a business out of reading the Bhagavatam illegally is certainly not a representative of Sukadeva Goswami. Such a man's business is only to earn his livelihood. Therefore, one should refrain from hearing the lectures of such professional men. Such men usually go to the most confidential part of the literature without undergoing the gradual process of understanding the grave subject. They usually plunge into the subject matter of rasa dance, which is misunderstood by the foolish class of men. Some of them take this to be immoral, while others try to cover it up with their own stupid interpretations. They have no desire to follow in the footsteps of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So we are discussing how it is Mohini Murti, not easy to understand our way. Unless we understand first canto thoroughly, unless we know what is adhikar, after knowing the adhikar, then we will be able to have access for higher things. That is the reason. And anything professionally done, Bhagavatam cannot be understood. If somebody is paid for speaking Bhagavatam, even paid for doing kirtan, there is no value in that kirtan, there is no value in that katha. It's all waste of time. We should know it is something very transcendental, it is very sacred. We should not deal anything, we should not do in a mundane way. Dealing with money, Bhagavad Kathas, Bhagavad Saptas with Kirtans and all, it's all bogus. It does not make any sense because we will not get any benefit out of it. We should not do also. And it is clear, such a man's business is only to earn money. Prabhupada is clearly telling, therefore one should refrain from hearing the lectures of such professional men. So, Gopal Leela Prabhu? Something.
Hari bol.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this is in regards to mentioned about when Harinam or Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken and there is any charge has been taken, any charges have been taken. So, but there are few temples within our ISKCON society where we are not very well to do in finances part. So when we are doing kirtan, so if we are asking something as in like this is what we take just for for a kirtan, if we are charging 3,000 or something like that, just so that our kirtan party is being maintained, our mrudanga kartal, if there are any anything which is not properly maintained, we can maintain that. So will that be also considered in that situation, or just wanted to
we should ask for deity services, temple maintenance, not we say whoever is helping our temple in our maintenance, instead of for kirtan, we can charge for our temple services, temple maintenance. We will, if you are helping our temple maintenance, we'll come and do kirtan in your house. So it is not you are paying for kirtan. Because they are helping us in our temple services, we are also going to their own doing kirtan. It's a reciprocation. It's not the charge for kirtan. but say reciprocation for their service in the temple, because they have rendered some service in temple. As a gratitude, we'll go to their house and do kirtan.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So when question was now we see in ISKCON also devotees charging for kirtan. So how to understand this? We should not, Bhaktivinoda Thakur clearly says that we should not use kirtans and kathas as means of earning. You can have another job, na? If you are a professional singer, you sing some professional way, get money, but we should not use holy name of the Lord. We should not use Bhagavatam for making money. There are so many ways to make money. We don't use the ways of making money. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. We should not use the holy name and Bhagavatam for making money. It's like that. Okay, this is a big topic. We will not enter into it. But this is what Prabhupada is telling, and I am trying to. Yeah, there will be so many bands, but this is what is Prabhupada is very clearly telling, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur also very clearly says that this is in Chaitanya Sikshamrita. He clearly mentions that we should not use. Of course, in Manasiksha, it is clearly told. Raghunath Goswami also says it's clearly that we should not utilize the holy name for making money. There are many ways to make money. Why we have to use the transcendental? Why you should make the transcendental thing mundane for making money? And one should conclude, therefore, that the serious students of Rasa should receive the message of Bhagavatam in the chain of disciplic succession from Srila Sudeva Goswami, which describes the Bhagavatam from its very beginning, and not whimsically to satisfy the mundaners who have very little knowledge in transcendental science. Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere and serious person can at once enjoy the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Srila Sudeva Goswami or his bona fide representative. So, this is a very important verse, that this is telling what we have to achieve after reading Bhagavatam. This verse is telling this is what you will achieve. You will get the highest rasa, the ripened fruit, the emotional connection we will feel for Krishna when we read sincerely Bhagavatam. And if you read in a proper way from a proper person with proper attitude, that's why in this sloka, many times Prabhupada mentioned how we should be submissive, attentive, respectful. All these things Prabhupada is mentioning, because this is the very important achievement we can have if we are doing Bhagavatam in this way. So now the storyline starts. So we have three storylines in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is first storyline is of Suta Goswami and Shaunaka Rishis. Second is of Vyasdeva and Narada Muni, and third is of Parikshit Maharaj. So three storylines are there, and then there are three. This prakarana, it is called three prakaranas, and we also discuss. We have three important topics. First topic is the birth of Srimad Bhagavatam. Second is about Parikshit Maharaj, and third is about Kali Yuga. So these are the three important topics of first canto. And also we have this in this first canto is also called Adhikara Tattva, which is trying to help us understand what is the Adhikar to understand Bhagavatam, and that is the reason we have most part is dedicated to Parikshit Maharaj only, not to Sukadeva Goswami. Because it is telling what is his qualification and how he surrendered. So first canto tells how every personality surrendered to Krishna. So this is like that. And here we will see the setting the scene, how it happened, where it happened. Of course, most of the Puranas, if you see, it says conversation between Suta Goswami and Savanaka Rishis. But after all, then they came to the end. Maybe then they have discussed the conclusion of all the Puranas. So there is so much about Suta Goswami and Savanaka Rishis discussing various Puranas. But here, this is the highest climax. And here in this chapter we have 6 questions, which is actually trying to make us trying to help us the whole Bhagavatam, the whole Bhagavatam, these are the answers for the questions. Of course, these questions are answered in first 3 chapters only, almost. But again, elaborately, this is explained in the remaining cantos. But whole Bhagavatam is based on these 6 questions. Of course, there are many question and answer sessions, but 2-3 questions they go entire canto in one way. We'll see what are the questions and then how the scenario is created. So we will not yes, Muktakesh bro.
Dandavat Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as you
Bro, not able to hear you. Muktakesh bro, we are not able to hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes bro, now we are able to hear.
Prabhuji, so you just mentioned that there are many Purana, means Sudha Goswami spoke many other.
Bro, your voice is not coming now.
Prabhuji. Now am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes bro. Yes, please.
So my question was like, just wanted to ask because you said that Sudha Goswami also spoke many other Puranas like
Yeah.
that. So I mean, because it is very it's what like which all Puranas, Prabhuji? Can you name some?
I think most of the Puranas, I think, bro, whichever Purana I read, na, this is a conversation. Sudha Goswami is telling Saunakada. I will list, bro. I will just see what are Puranas which I read. Even though if Matsya Purana, it is conversation between Matsya Avatar and Vaivasvata Manu. No, yeah. But it starts, okay, what happened between them? So they ask, and then the story goes to connect it to them. So the Saunakada Rishi asks Sudha Goswami gives that conversation, and that becomes that Purana, like that.
Yeah. Means we can means this is also one of the reason that this is mature fruit, like a ripened fruit. Because after discussing many Puranas, yeah. Okay. This I okay. Thank you.
Gail Mataji, you have any questions you can ask? So we will go for the first. We will start our prakarana first one. नैमिषे अनिमिषे क्षेत्रे ऋषयः सौनकादयः सत्रं सर्गाय लोकाय सहस्र समम् आसत. So here in the forest of Naimisharanya, Animshe Kshetra, the spot which is especially favorite to Vishnu, Animsha Kshetra, and who does not close his eyelids. So Animisha is Lord who does not close his eyes. And Rishaya, the sages, Savanakadaya, headed by Savanakad rishis, Satram, they performed a sacrifice. Sargaya, the Lord who is glorified in heaven. Sacrifice for the pleasure of Lord. Lokaya, for what? For the devotees who are always in touch with the Lord. How long? 1000 years. Samam and Asta performed. So once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages headed by Saunaka assembled to perform a great 1000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. So this is their purpose. They have assembled here. Now, after assembling what they are doing, so now Prabhupada is giving the purport. The prelude of Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous three verses, shlokas. Now the main topic of this great literature is being presented. Srimad Bhagavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, was repeated for the second time at Naimisharanya. So in the Vaivya Tantra, it is said that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at the particular place known as Naimisharanya. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Naimisharanya in the Varaha Puran, where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of demonic people is curtailed. Thus, Brahmanas prefer Naimisharanya for such sacrificial performance. The devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifice for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasure of material existence. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu causes further bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotee. Thus, will bring everyone peace and prosperity. Now here, this is the sacrifice is a very scientific method designed by our great sages for people to elevate themselves or even to liberate also. It's a very scientific method. What is sacrifice? Basically, any activity we are doing, if we are doing that activity in ignorance, we are further getting implicated in this material world. Say, if we are putting a seed in the soil, it will grow, plant will come and then it will grow and fruits will come. So, and this soil is compared to be ignorance. And if we are putting the seeds are our activities. So in ignorance, we are doing activity. It will become a tree and it will give fruits. That fruits are our karma phala. Activity done in ignorance, you will get fruits, karma phala. Now the same activity, the same seeds are put in fire. Fire is compared to knowledge. If the same activity done in knowledge, it will not grow tree, but it will become into ashes. That is what is sacrifice. Sacrifice is activity performed in knowledge, not just a sacrifice of putting a ghee in the fire, but any activity when you are doing at the level of buddhi, when you are doing consciously, we are doing. That's why the famous term is the mindfulness. If we are doing mindfully also, we can be avoided from karma because we are doing with knowledge. Of course, with proper knowledge only we will be mindful, otherwise it is not possible. This is what is a very scientific method. So now all activities, their heart is full of ignorance. You are doing activity, putting the seeds of ignorance, growing our fruits. Get enlightened, proper knowledge, do that activity, no. Now, when we are putting this grains and all this valuable, especially into the fire, we work very hard to accumulate them and we are putting in fire. What benefit we get? You think lakhs and lakhs of rupees are putting in fire and it is getting burned. So if you see very grossly, it looks like a waste of money and time and endeavor. But what is the benefit of that? We understand that what is life meant for? We start thinking. When we are told to do sacrifice, we immediately start thinking, why should I give my my hard-earned money to somebody else? Immediately we start. Then we become more philosophical. Why we have to give? because anyway it is not ours. Second thing is anyway it will go. Even if you give or don't give, it will anyway go from you. So better you give it and get higher things. What is the higher thing I get? Say now people even don't understand that if I do something here, I'll have next life and I can enjoy next life also. People became very gross, but in a settled way we understand that okay, if I do good deeds, I'll enjoy in the higher realms. I can enjoy more. When we do sacrifice also, the person knows okay, something I am going to get, so he will understand what I will get. Then he will start trying to understand the truth. He will go little higher. Every time we are many people are appreciated for giving. Oh, giving charity, giving things. Why it is appreciated? Because it will elevate us. It will make us go to the higher level of consciousness. All our things from childhood also, anything which we have, this is all going to go. I may enjoy for some time, but I cannot enjoy the higher enjoyment by giving. So sacrifice is basically giving. Now there is one more product called ghee. Okay, grains they will burn and you will have ashes. But what about the ghee? Ghee we don't directly put. Ghee is offered by the Brahmana. The priest will be offering ghee. I earn money, I have cows, and what is ghee? In a big process to make ghee. You have to have cows, then you milk them, then you have make curd, then you have to churn, then you have to get butter, and then you have to make butter into ghee. After so much you get the essence, and after doing so much hard work you are putting in fire and you don't put, you go to the Brahmana and he will put. So this essence, what it is actually our devotional part. It is not just the grains we are putting, we also have to give our heart, our devotion to the Lord, which is directly offered by the priest who is Guru. So Guru offers our devotion to Krishna. When we are doing offerings, bhoga we offer, anything we offer, we have to chant the name of Guru. That means Guru offers it to Krishna. And now one interesting thing with the keys, will not get any ashes. When it comes to grains, they are burnt and ashes are remaining. Ghee completely burns. That is very important for us. Our devotional part, any sacrifice we are doing, most important ingredient is the devotion part. And by doing it, we'll be able to free ourselves from this bondage. Otherwise, we'll not be able to free. We'll get more and more entangled. So it's a very scientific system designed to help us get out of this bondage. If we are enjoying in ignorance, we are in bondage. Krishna is telling, no, 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 you work in knowledge and work for my pleasure. I am the only enjoyer. And any other activity, yajnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. If you don't do activity as yajna, it's lokabandhana only. You are only entangled. So better do. So that is the reason. So here, Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world, any other reason, yajnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. It is enjoyed, therefore, that all must be performed, all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees. That will bring everyone peace and prosperity. Because now the yajnas are not performed, that's why there is no peace and prosperity. That's why we have all these wars and everything. So this is the point here. We have to understand the yajna, how it is very scientifically designed. Of course, there is more explanation, but will not go more deeper. But this is a simple understanding I'm trying to explain here. The great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such, the sages headed by Saunaka and others assembled at this holy place of Naimisharanya with a program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Forgetful men do not know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, the sages knew it well, and therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends of all living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of all people. Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all others, including the demigods, men, siddhas, charanas, vidyadharas, and other living entities, are like branches, twigs, leaves of the tree. By pouring water at the root of the tree, all the parts of the tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and leaves which are uh, detached cannot be satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, which is detached from the personality of God, like detached branches of leaf, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources. So here, very important point, what how the sages are very compassionate, how they want to help, and how they are helping. The concept is very simple. By pleasing the Lord, they are helping all the living entities. See, if we want to please anybody, there is two types of relationship. One is geographical relationship, one is factual relationship. Geographical relationship is what? In my family, I am very close. My father, mother, brother, sister, wife, children, everybody is there. And it's very close. They're all connected. They're all in one branch. But real benefit for that leaf, it comes from the root only. And the root is Krishna. The nourishment for that leaf is coming from the root. That means my nourishment is coming from Krishna. Even though geographically I am very close in the family, my nourishment and everything is Krishna only. If I am disconnected from Krishna, it is dried. Prabhupada is telling, detached, it is dried. But if we are all connected to Krishna, we are all nourished. Even though I am looking very close to my family members, my factual relationship is only Krishna only. The nourishment is Krishna. If Krishna is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. Now, what I need to do if I want to satisfy everybody in the family, satisfy Krishna. Sages are doing the same thing. They are trying to please the Lord so that everybody is satisfied. We should know what is our relation. Everybody, the house, or only relation is with Krishna. All other relationship are only geographical. They look very close. But really, one leaf cannot nourish another leaf. The nourishment is from the root only. That is to be understood. We cannot really do much. We can do through Krishna. That is the point. Anybody has any discussions on this? These 2 points on sacrifice and then nourishment. We will go further. Yeah. Okay, Nidhi Mataji, she's asking, you gave the example of ghee not having any remnants. So, what does the leftover ashes of the grains offered as a sacrifice represent? Yeah, our activities, they, of course, this is analogy just to make us understand that the devotion part is very important. Other activities may not be completely pure. If there is devotion part, then everything is perfectly all right. I what it represent, I don't know much, but we say that devotion is completely, Lord accepts everything if there is devotion. So he is accepted to the Lord completely because the Lord is looking for devotion. But leftover ashes, I heard, I will just recollect and I will let you. I'm not remembering what exactly that ashes represent. I will let you know. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Muktakesh.
Dandat Prabhuji.
Nanda.
So Prabhupada is giving this example of leaves, and we have to water the root.
Yeah.
So in family member, like we are many leaves. So when we see that, um, people are not, or what you call, when we observe that others are not happy with me, does that mean that I'm not watering the root? Or if I'm watering the root properly, does that mean that the naturally other leaves also will be properly, they will be in proper mood, that they will be satisfied with me. Can we relate like that?
Yes, bro. We Dhira Dhira Janapriyo Priyataro. All the Goswamis, na, they are dear to even devotees and non-devotees also. Because when we are devotees of Krishna, we know how to behave. A devotee is a gentleman, Prabhupada says. Like no Bhakti Rasamut Maharaj's story is there. When he joined, all his relatives become very upset. And later on, especially his uncle, who's the elder brother of a whole family, father's elder brother, he's like leader of the family, he was very upset. But later on, when he got cancer and Maharaj was regularly going and helping him in the hospital, attending him, and his uncle said, only person who took care of me properly, that is you. Now I understanding that what you are doing is right. So immediately you may not get the result of their accepting you, but if you are properly behaving in a gentleman way, in a kind polite way, but doing your devotion to the Lord, eventually their heart will also change, and they will also get benefited, they will also get nourished because of our Krishna consciousness. So only way we can nourish, because everybody looks very close, but we cannot do anything to them. We can do them real benefit by serving Krishna, by pleasing Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah, Monica Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, but sometimes what happens that other people of our family, they want us to act in a particular way and do according to their understanding. And if we don't do that, they are very much unhappy and try to quarrel with us. So in that situation, what should we do? Should we try to make them happy and understand ourselves, or we can stay away from that people?
If it is not affecting our Krishna conscious, we can do. Like if they say you have to come for this puja of this Durga, this is our family tradition. It is not wrong going there for their pleasure, not for the.
No, it is not for a devotional service. It is general thing that they are not happy with whatever we are doing. So
We
that
should
will
not.
continuously daunting in our mind. So we cannot even concentrate, and a lot of anger is there. So we cannot love Krishna, na?
We should not create insecurity in people because of our practices. When we are if we are seeing they are feeling insecure, we should do in such a way that they don't observe our practice so seriously. Like if you are sitting and 2 hours chanting in the morning, many may become, if they are not devotees, they will become insecure. They'll say, what this fellow is doing? Why they are wasting time? Why can't they be normal? Then if you are
Yeah.
feeling like that, instead of creating a situation where they feel insecure, we should do in such a way that they don't understand that how seriously we are doing. We can do when they are not present, you can do very early morning, or we can do you can do in such a way, you are attending classes. Now if they are feeling insecure, then we should do in such a way that they don't understand. You can sometimes, some devotees only hear recordings because it is not possible for them. So basically, we should not create insecurity because it is not favorable for our bhakti. These situations, we should act in such a way it is favorable for our bhakti also. We should not creating unfavorable situation for us. That is
This also happens in with material things also, that we are serving family members and they are not happy with our service.
We have to be efficient. We should not, like, it is not an excuse that I am a devotee, so I will not do outside things nicely. It is not correct. A devotee is expert. He will do his other things which are related to his profession, and so he has to be proper professional. Bhakti
Yeah,
is.
we are doing, but they, according to their understanding, they don't think that we are doing right. So we cannot make them
We
please
cannot
every
please
time.
everyone. If we want to
Yeah,
please
why?
everyone, then you will be in trouble. You do what is right and then leave rest to Krishna. If somebody is unhappy with you also, you don't become upset. You think maybe Krishna want this to me so that I will become more purified. Sincerely practice. then things
It
will
is
change.
we are serving them sincerely, and we are not here for make them happy. No, we are here for make Krishna happy. We cannot
No,
make
no,
them
no.
happy all the time.
No. That is correct. See, now if I am staying with my mother, father, or brother and all, I say I don't care. I only will please Krishna. It will not work like that. I had to be very polite, cordial, and proper with them also, and try to do what little pleases them, so that they will help me to please Krishna. They should help me to do my service to Krishna. Otherwise, it's an obstacle, na? It is not that we have to please them. It is we need their support to please Krishna, and to get their support, we have to please them. Not to get their support to do my service. I need. That's how we should act.
Right. Thank you, Prabhu.
Sri Vidya.
Actually, I had the Hare Krishna Prabhu pranams to you. I had the same problem what Mataji has told just now. I would like to tell my experience so that if she likes it, she can try it out. That is the thing I wanted to tell. The same question I asked my Bhagavad Gita Prabhu. He told me, somebody suppose if they are not happy with you all the time, makes you unhappy, think that your karma is solved, your karma is resolved, so your bad karmas are going away. Think like that. And secondly, if they ask you to do this for their sense gratification, like cook this, that's what maximum house people will say, you have to cook that, you have to cook this. So think that you are cooking for Krishna and offer it to Krishna and offer it to them, so you won't feel irritated by doing all those work. That's what he told me, and after following that, I actually feel really not irritated by all those things nowadays.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. I have one question in the chat box. So, geographical relationship means like various leaves on tree and the root Krishna. A leaf cannot nourish the another leaf. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, so we should be careful also, not do that happens. Yes, bro. So we will just go further. So sometimes we need to tolerate the discomfort that arises from people being upset with us after we have tried all means. Yes. Yeah, we have to tolerate. Tolerate is actually what that is what will make us chant peacefully. If we have tolerance and humility, Trinalapi Sunichena, Karoriva Sahishtuna, Amanina Manadina, Kirtane Sadahari. There is no injustice. If somebody can tolerate, he will feel it's correct only. If he does not have tolerance, then only we feel injustice. Then we have problems. Of course, everybody has different levels of tolerance, but it is that's how we have to understand that Krishna will not give exams out of syllabus. Whatever is my level of presence, that much Krishna will test. Yes, Mataji.
Hari Bol Prabhuji.
Hari.
There's a concept of active tolerance and passive tolerance. So sometimes we feel that, oh, we have to do this work, we have to make them happy, we have to do this. So that is like passive tolerance. We start feeling that this is something that has been imposed on us. But if we think that I choose to do this because it will help to improve the relationship, if our relationship is good, even these people might be attracted to Krishna consciousness. If I behave effectively, if I behave in an appropriate manner, do all my duties properly, then in the long run, these people also may take to Krishna consciousness, because eventually we want our entire family to be with us.
This is very wonderful. Yes, Mataji. This is true. This is what we need to do. This is actually what Prabhupada, any devotee, they want us to behave like this. Any Maharajas, yes, Mataji.
So Prabhuji, one video I'd seen that there's some children in a race, they're running forward, and then one child falls down. So they come back and they hold his hand and take him. They are mentally retarded children. So the question is asked, are they mentally retarded? What about us? So sometimes we want to be in a race to rush ahead. We don't need to rush ahead. Everything we do is eventually, if connected to Krishna, is devotional service.
Yeah.
So sometimes what we are thinking about people also affects the relationship. We may be behaving very properly, but in our mind, if we are resentful about what we are doing or we are irritated, then that energy also will affect them. So we need to be not only careful about what we are doing, but how we are thinking about what we are doing and how we are thinking about them.
Yeah,
Very good.
that is true. Thank you very much, Mataji, for sharing. Yes, Amrita Madhavi Mataji.
Oh, one last point. Everything was so beautiful from the points you told and what everyone told. One last thing is that we should take care of the needs of our family members and beyond their needs. Suppose my husband wants breakfast by 7:15. I just no, I 6:45 for my Lord's offering. So do it beyond the need. Then what happens? Then our family anyway will be happy because they're getting little earlier, and we will be thinking we are doing it for Krishna. So we will be all the more excited, and I always try to compete with the clock so that I perform. It's thrilling for me at the age of 48 also. Like that, means we can make our life more exciting just by competing with the clock, competing with ourselves to do better and better in every single part where the needs of the family is touched upon. And that too, we should do it better. Means if my husband wants a clean house, I make it such a well organized house these days, and that is to make house like a temple. I want it to be like Mayapur Dham. Means go beyond the needs of the family, and then the family will not bother how much devotional service I am doing. Thank you so much.
Wow, this is wonderful, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. So nice. And with personal example, you are sharing that realization. It's very helpful. Thank you, Mataji. Shyam Vallavi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Mataji told that we should take care of not only what we are doing, but what we are thinking, because that will also affect the relationship. But doing is okay, but how to change our thinking?
We need to learn to forgive, Mataji. Then most of the problems is solved if we learn forgiveness. Because many times what happens, why we become upset? Because we cannot give up. We say, why this fellow is behaving like this? We need to learn tolerance, we need to forgive. Then life is very easy. Maybe Amrita Mataji will have some answer for your question.
Yes. Even I was initially forgiving. Now I have made myself that I don't have to even forgive, because I'm not expecting only. Why I'm not expecting is that my friend Radha Sevika Mataji, Radhanath Maharaj disciple, she told me that you think that your karma is getting burned. So now it is like zero expectation from them, means all expectation from me. Am I doing my duty well or not? If I don't do the duty well, I will be eating my karma. No, I do not. As it is, I have a lot of karma. I don't want karma in future. This life I want to finish. So only till I finish my karma, my punishments will come. My friend Radhaseka Mataji told, only till I finish. After I finish, even one extra punishment I will not get. So then, let me only focus on doing my services to the best, wherein I take care of the need of the full family in a better way. I will do it. I will not see whether they are doing it or not. I am having a house. I am having a position. That's enough. Whatever Krishna has given, I have given food, that's enough. And then I am not having any expectation, because expectation costs a lot of pain. So if you just understand this much, we can be very happy and ecstatic. I'm very happy every day. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you, Mataji.
Here, one important point is devotees, we don't have karma. Our karma is burnt already. It is whatever is happening. This is maybe I will clarify tomorrow. I'll tell it maybe some explanation for it. Devotees don't have any karma. Whatever is happening to us, it's an arrangement by Lord only. From the first go, from the beginning, as soon as we said, Krishna, you take care of me, it is directly Krishna taking care of us. It is not our karma getting burnt. There is no karma only for devotees. Where is the question of getting burnt? It is directly Krishna is arranging. Whoever is having faith that Krishna, you just tell to Krishna, please take care of me. That's all. Krishna is taking care. Karma is people who don't believe in Krishna. who don't accept in Krishna's authority, that is for them karma. Karma don't affect us. It is not, it is Krishna only. Even if anybody is doing anything for devotee, it's all Krishna's arrangement. So don't worry about karma only. From beginning onset, it's all Krishna. Like why Pandavas, why they are suffering? Do they have any karma? No karma. Any Prahalad, any karma? No karma. They're all great devotees. They don't have any karma. It's all Krishna arranging for them. Even for us also, it's Krishna is only arranging. Yeah, yes, Shyamvallavi Mataji, you still have something?
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Gopal Leela Prabhu?
Prabhuji, I just had two things. One is just to add the previous point, what different Matajis were sharing. But before that, you called out one point. So just wanted some clarification around no karma. So
Tomorrow I'll explain, Prabhu, because we are already out of time. I'll make you understand. Maybe tomorrow we'll go to the shlokas which are related. I'll take 2-3 shlokas from the Shastra Bhagavatam where it is said prarabdha, aprarabdha, all are burnt just as soon as you have devotional faith, pure devotional faith. I'll explain, Prabhu. Tomorrow I'll take a little bit.
So then I'll just share one point. I'll just take 30 seconds if it is okay for everyone.
Sure, bro.
Just the point of needs, interest, concern of the relationship topic was going on. So one very beautiful thing which I had heard from Gaur Gopal Prabhu, it's available on YouTube. There's a CAR principle, CAR. C is change the changeable. Wherever there is any difficulty, you should definitely strive hard if whether you can change that situation. If you are in trouble and all that. So, or you can change the people around you. A is accept the unchangeable. A is where you understand the other person is not going to change. So better to accept that environment, accept that situation. And R is reject the unacceptable situation. So wherever you feel that this is completely no kind of a situation where it's a physical, mental turmoil which is happening on me. So better to reject that relationship or reject that situation, come out from that topic, come out from that environment altogether. So C is change the changeable. Wherever you can change the situation, please strive hard to ensure you can make adjustment and try to change. A is accept the unchangeable. You know that this person or the other person or this environment is not going to change. Better accept this is what is going to be there in my life. And R is reject the unacceptable situation. So this is just a quick thing which I wanted to share with everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. This karma part I will definitely clarify tomorrow. But we should see what is happening in our life as arrangement of Krishna only. So yes, Radharani Mataji.
Urmila Mataji had once mentioned that Krishna puts us in different situations because we are meant to learn certain lessons and develop certain qualities. So whenever we are put in a situation with the people or events or whatever, something that is not according to our will, we need to think that what am I supposed to learn in this situation? Because otherwise, if we only think of it as karma and all, we'll always be thinking that other people are troubling us. But sometimes it is, do I have patience? Do I have tolerance? Maybe I am meant to learn all these qualities. So that is one aspect. Second thing is why what we think is important is because what we think, we will start feeling and eventually we will start behaving based on that. So if we are thinking one thing, we can't behave in another way. Our thoughts and feelings and behavior need to be congruent in one line. Haribol.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. I am very fortunate. Such senior devotees are there. I am getting all of your association and able to get so much new understanding. Definitely, we will discuss on this. Some of more points are there. Like Mataji was sharing that we should be at the level of devotee to get rid of. By having pure devotional faith itself, we will be free from karma. We need not, all the anarthas need not go away. Just that faith itself, we are free from karma. We will discuss on it. I will give references from the shlokas. Of course, 100% Prabhuji is also going to take it. But before that, it is some introduction for you. And maybe at second chapter, Prabhuji will also definitely touch this. And then the question is, Prabhuji, karma is burnt, but why so much suffering? It is because of aparadas we are doing intentionally or unintentionally. Of course, aparadas will get reaction for our aparadas. That is true. Most of the problem why we are facing is because of aparadas. And some more answers are there in the chat box also. So you can, I will try to discuss on this. So tomorrow we don't have session. It's on Monday we have. So Monday we will come back, and maybe first 10 minutes I will tell about how from the Shastras only, it is from Acharyas and proper Bhagavatam, we can see how we don't have karma. It is an arrangement of Lord directly. If we need to have pure Shraddha, pure faith that Krishna is going to avasya rakshave Krishna. That's all. And but what is happening is because of offenses. We need to work on avoiding the offenses. Thank you all very much for your kind participation. It's very inspiring to have all of you. We'll meet on Monday to continue our discussion on Prabhupada's purports and our further discussions. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.